let's go to Kevin Lee right now. Say hello to him. He joins us, I do believe, via there he is, Kevin Lee. And you know what's funny, Kevin? Someone emailed me today and said, can you ask Kevin Lee how many mugs he owns and how come every time he's on the show he's drinking out of a mug? So now you're not at home, right, Kevin? So that's a portable. Is that a loaner of a mug?
Yeah, I'm not at home. I'm in the conference room, but they got good mugs here too. Good mugs, good green tea. It's usually what you catch me drinking, probably green tea or coffee.
Green
But
tea.
I've
Okay,
been on my drink.
this is green tea
On my
here.
yeah. The good
Okay.
stuff.
All right, well, enjoy that. And we enjoyed the victory. We enjoyed the performance. What a win it was. What a performance it was. But first, let's start with Friday. Of course, it didn't go your way as far as the weigh-ins were concerned. Could you tell us what went wrong? Because you remember on Monday we were talking about it. You said, no nutritionist, I'm good. Tell us what happened.
I think it could have been some adjustments that I could have made, especially on the timing. I think I just had the timing down. The timing was off a little bit too much, and my scale was a little bit different too. When I weighed myself on my scale upstairs, I was almost a pound and a half heavier than what I thought. So it just was minor technical difficulties really when it came down to it. It didn't even my body never reached the point where it was breaking down. It just became that I ran out of time.
So compared to what you experienced in October prior to that fight against Tony Ferguson, this wasn't the same kind of trauma that you were bringing upon your body.
No, it wasn't nowhere near the same level.
Yeah.
Especially, they were throwing boiling hot water on me for that
Damn.
Tony Ferguson weight cut. So I mean, it wasn't nowhere near that level. I felt like I could have still pushed. I felt like I still could have went. The New Jersey Athletic Commission, for whatever reason, doesn't allow that extra hour, which I wasn't really clear on. And the hotel that we were staying at, they wouldn't even let us in to use the sauna until like 5:45, something like that, when they promised that they'd let us in at 5. It was a lot. So minor shit.
So you didn't know about the fact that New Jersey doesn't give you the extra hour, because it's crazy. If you were fighting the prior week in Arizona, you would have had more time. And I feel like this has become a consistent issue where you're walking into these different states. Every state has a different rule, and you guys aren't educated. So no one told you beforehand that you didn't have that extra time.
No, I didn't understand that, and I didn't. Like you said, when you go into these new commissions, you don't really know the rules until you get there. So when I talk about a weight cut as big as mine, it takes weeks and weeks and weeks to plan. Even if they tell me the day of, it's like, okay, well, I've been planning for 6 weeks. I've been cutting this weight, to get down to a certain level. And I feel like I have it down to a very scientific spot, because I try and spend as least amount of time dehydrated. Guys are going to sleep because these weigh-ins are so early. Guys are going to sleep completely dehydrated the night before. I just think it's terrible for your body. So I try my best to mitigate that and cut it close. And I just, the time factor could have been explained to me a little bit better.
Are you going to change your stance as far as not hiring a nutritionist after going through this again, or you still feel like you're better off without one?
I probably will, especially for the week of. I'm definitely gonna need one just to get that extra little stress and that extra little load off me, and not have me doing it. A lot of the notes that I look at and things are from old weight cuts, and I'm just getting bigger, and so there are definitely gonna be some adjustments that could be made. But 155, I'm here to stay.
So you don't. That was actually my next question. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. But
Oh, I was just curious. Are your days at 155 numbered?
until they do a 165, I mean, I don't see what the holdup is on 165, but I can make 155 for at least the next couple years. I think I don't see myself getting any bigger than this. And I'm already as lean as I could possibly get. It's just about leaning out the muscles a little bit more. But I don't see no growth spurts or anything happening. So 155, I'm here.
No interest in 170.
Nah, not really. I mean, 170's there if there's like some good fights, but 170 so log jammed. You had that bullshit interim title going on, and you got Kobe. If he fuck around and win it, you gonna have maybe. I mean, I'll see the fight with Kobe. But he got his hands full right now, so it's too much going on up at the top at 170. I'll wait.
What do you say to people who say, yeah, okay, it's 1 pound, but you walked into that fight with an advantage? I believe fighters who have missed weight in 2018 are undefeated thus far in the UFC. It sounds crazy. 1 pound, how could that be an advantage? But there are people who believe you cut it short, you don't go for that grueling last pound, you're walking into the fight with an advantage. What do you say to those people?
It wasn't, it wasn't no cutting it short. And Barboza's manager was there. He could see me going through it. You know what I mean? It's one thing to say that a guy isn't really working towards it or he isn't putting in that work. And guys just like, oh, I hit 161. And I'm just like, okay, I'm done, or I don't have it in me to do. It's just I literally ran out of time. So it's still the same amount of work that was put into to cutting the weight. And Barboza's manager could see that. So if they didn't have a problem with taking it, then they didn't have a problem with then it's a fair contest.
Okay. Let's talk about Saturday. Phenomenal performance. Is it possible that was your best performance in the UFC?
I mean, I guess yeah. It was the best that I thought that I put forth, but I've had some ones in my opinion that I've overcome a little bit more and pushed through a little bit harder. But yeah, it was. I mean, it was decent. I'm always critical of myself. I mean,
Okay.
I thought it was decent. I'm always critical. I always think I can get better in every area. So when I went back and I watched the fight, I look at every spot that I felt like I could have got better in. I mean, I'm taking the praise and I appreciate all the all the love that I've been getting, especially on social media, and I mean, even got to like reach out to half the people, but I'm still not satisfied.
Okay. What bothers you the most? Like, what are you most critical of as far as your performance is concerned?
I wanted to knock him cold on the feet. I wanted to show, especially after the third round, after he got a good shot in. I wanted to knock him out cold. I ended up winning the rest of that third round, I thought, and I think most of the judges thought, even after that big head kick. And I showed that I can outstrike the man. But in the fourth, I went back and approached it a little bit smarter. But I wanted to knock him out cold.
How dicey was that kick to the head? We've seen all the gifs, the Bambi and all that. How what was going on in your mind? How worried were you?
I'm still feeling it. I mean, he kicked the shit out of me. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, Barboza's explosive. Uh, I was setting up my knockout shot, and I took my focus off of him for half a second. And at this level, especially with a guy like that, that's been one of the things that my coaches have been saying to me for a long time. And that's one of the things I even had to keep reminding myself of during the actual fight. A reporter asked me, he was like, it sounded like you were in there talking, and I wasn't talking to Barboza. I was talking to myself. I was reminding myself of those things to stay sharp and not get caught with something. But for that split second, I looked away, and he ringed me.
Wow. So I didn't notice that you were actually openly talking to yourself throughout the fight.
I didn't think people could see it, but I guess so because I've had two reporters already ask me, and the guy asked
Wow.
me like immediately after. I didn't think people could see it, but yeah, I mean, I talked to myself a little bit in there.
Is that something that you've often done, or was this the first time you've done that?
Each fight is different.
Yeah.
Sometimes I talk to the other guy. I wanted to say something to Barboza, but he was too nice of a guy, and he was taking a whooping. I didn't want to like add insult to injury. I was gonna leave him alone. Uh, but yeah. I feel like I'm very aware when I'm in there.
First two rounds, in my opinion, were 10-8 rounds. Are you surprised that he was able to, I mean, even throw and land a kick like that and even be around? Like, were you thinking, like, what do I need to do to actually put this guy away?
Yeah, I mean he was one of the strongest dudes that I think I've ever faced. It's just that it's a different type of explosiveness that he has. And it's something that I admire a little bit in him, and something that I was trying to sit back and watch and see how I could pick up things to steal from him. Because even when he's dead tired, he's very, very dangerous, and you got to stay in your P's and Q's. Uh, so yeah, I mean he did his thing. I mean, he showed up to fight. I gave respect to Barboza all the way through this, but I give him even more respect afterwards. That
Yeah.
man showed up to fight.
So you said that you're still kind of feeling the effects of that kick throughout the entire fight, the rest of the fight. Is it fair to say that you were kind of out of it because of the kick?
No, I was right back in it.
Okay.
It maybe took me 30 seconds or so. Right when I grabbed hold of him and I ended up getting him down. I was right back in it. But like I said, it's just you feel the effect when it's just swollen. It hurt. But other than that, I'm all smooth.
That's back to back pretty one sided losses for Barbosa. Is it almost at this point in your mind, like, is he too tough for his own good? That's the kind of stuff that shortens careers, no?
Yeah, he took a whooping. And I kind of took it a little bit easy on him too. After that, it was like during the second round, I could see he was taking a whooping, and I didn't want to keep hitting that man like that. He's a nice guy. I wish him nothing but the best. Yeah, he's taking a whooping these last two fights, but he's gonna come back and he's gonna knock some dudes clean out. I mean, Barboza is still one of the toughest guys in this division, hands down. I think if anything, this is just gonna make him tougher. Once his body heals up, he's still only like 31, 32. So the man still has a lot of years left if he wants them. He's just gonna heal up. He's gonna come back stronger, and it's a couple more knockouts away, and you never know. You might see him up there again.
So it sounds like obviously you have a lot of respect, still do a lot of respect for him. Have you ever felt that way in a fight before, where you almost felt bad in the midst of the fight and you didn't want to inflict as much damage as you could?
No, I think yeah, like one other time when I was an amateur, one or two other times. But that was just me kind of growing up and getting more used to it. But yeah, no, that was about the first one at this level for sure. He was a sweet dude. I couldn't really say much bad about him.
I asked you last week, what it would be like without Robert Follis, your late coach, and you said you could only really answer that question after the fact. So what was it like?
It was more surreal. Like I said, I did a lot of talking to myself even before, during, and after, and a lot of it was in his voice. When I got hit with that kick, even you know the crowd and everybody else screamed and went wild, but it was kind of his calming tone that kind of kept me in there and made sure that I kept my eyes on him, no matter how bad my legs wobbled or my body wanted to shake. So he guided me all the way through it, and the victory is still for him. And I felt like I truly felt that way going into it, and I think it showed during my performance.
Wow, that is pretty amazing. So afterwards, you said it's Khabib time. What are the chances in your mind that you actually do get Khabib next?
I think it's big. I think it's still up there. We're gonna see. We're gonna see how the whole thing shake out with Connor. I think that's the X factor. He's already talking about Khabib want to sit out. I know he's got Ramadan coming up and all that. I was hoping September in Russia. I could be ready for that. But he want to sit out to November, Madison Square Garden. I get it. I ain't gonna stop a man from making no money. They got Connor coming back. How much are they gonna have to pay Connor? What type of numbers are they talking about they're gonna get in return? I think right now it's gonna all come down to a numbers game, and the second behind that, because I'll take that fight for a fraction of what Connor would, and I'll beat the fuck out of him for it. So we'll see. We'll sit back and we'll be smart about it and approach it in the right way. But I think it's there.
So if they do figure out a way to get Connor in there, what's a proper consolation prize for you? Like, what's the next best thing in your mind?
We'll see. I mean, there's a lot of fights out there, a lot of options. We gonna see. I mean, there's Eddie out there, right for the picking, easy for the beatings. So I don't know. We gonna see if Eddie can lose some weight. Maybe we can get in there. No,
Wow. Wow. So you think that what you think he's too big for 155, or you just you caught a glimpse of him this
no, he
weekend?
just he just even said that he's just fat. The man's like 2 inches shorter than me, and he talking about he walking around. When I seen him there at the fight, he's round. You ever seen if you ever seen a round little Philly fella before? Yeah, I did on Saturday night.
Wow. Did you get a lot of crap after missing weight? Because I saw a lot of people throwing the when you talked about championship level performance and things like that. And it seemed like you got a lot of love on Saturday, but Friday, did you get a lot of crap?
I mean, I get shit for everything. So I mean, it's I got shit on Saturday too. It is what it is at this point. I'm just rolling with the punches. Sometimes you gotta, sometimes you're gonna get kicked in the head. So, you know,
Well, what about that 20%? How much does that hurt you having to give that up?
not getting the bonus kind of irritates me, but I think that's I just don't see that system being okay. But uh, the 20% that's in my contract. I understand that. I kind of knew
Yeah,
that going in. Is not being eligible for the bonuses and all this because it doesn't take away from the performance. I feel like
sure.
um, Barboza put on a hell of a performance, and I feel like you could have gave the man some scratch for that. He went out there and he could have easily like turned away during the first round even. gave up his neck, and it would have been done. But Barboza stuck in there for 5 full rounds and took a beating on that. And he can't get a fight of the night bonus because of a, it's not even a rule. It's just like a, it's kind of like in good faith or something.
Sure. Yeah. Discretionary. I get what you're saying. So this was your first fight, post 216, post that fight against Ferguson, which obviously didn't go your way. Do you feel like now you got your mojo back? I mean, you strike me as the kind of guy, to be honest, who never really lost his mojo, but to get back on track, get a W, and do it in that fashion in a main event against a guy like Barbosa, I would imagine now you kind of feel like, okay, everything's back to normal, right?
I mean, I kind of felt like this. It took me a little bit to get over the loss to Ferguson, obviously. But as soon as I did that, that's when I started feeling like a champ again. I wouldn't even have approached this fight had I not felt that way, because when you know, I already knew in my heart of hearts that I was going to win the fight. I still had that championship mindset going into it. I felt, yeah, it kind of validates it a little bit, I guess. But to me, I'm not even all that happy with the performance. So I'm on to the next one right away.
What is it about Khabib, Kevin, in your mind that you continue to call him out? You're like, yeah, it's amazing. People, I remember the first time, like before you were even on the show, I was like, why is Kevin Lee talking about Khabib? That is crazy. And here I'm eating those words. Like, you've been calling him out since you weren't even ranked. What is it about this guy that makes you so confident when you think about yourself fighting him?
I just know it. I just know it. I mean, I can see him. I don't know. I just know it. It's just you can call it a vision. You can call it whatever you want to. I just think that's going to be a big fight. It's going to be a big fight in my career. And I want to be the one to take away that. Oh, there's been a couple of guys that I've had my eye on for a long time. That I mean, I see them going through it, and I'm like, oh yeah, that one right there. That's gonna be the cake. And Khabib has been that for a while. And we've kind of gone along. He's avoided me a lot up until this point, but now it's getting to the point where it's unavoidable, and it's I think it's scaring his whole team, really.
Wow. Kevin, congratulations on the victory, man. Really impressive stuff. Way to rebound from 216. And, I hope you get what you are looking for next. It was a lot of fun to watch. That was dominant stuff. Appreciate it very much. And also, thanks for squeezing us in. I know you're very busy this morning, so really appreciate that as well.
Yeah,
Hey,
appreciate you
have you
always.
gone to bed yet? Have you gone to bed yet, Kevin?
I haven't been asleep
Come on.
since before the. I slept maybe like an hour and a half on the airplane. As soon as I landed in Vegas, in the car, like I had 3 hours. I maybe got something to eat. Was in the car on my way to LA. It's a rock star lifestyle. So I'm just
Jeez.
I'm just living it. Shit.
All right. Well, good to be young. Enjoy it, my man. Thank you. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, brother.